Try, try, before we die with a British guy and a
Idiot. I see we've moved again.
bearded man.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's what it was.
Can you like get it together?
No, not really.
I'm gonna put an ad in.
Oh, we've moved again.
You're gonna move.
I hope one day I do get to move.
We have shifted
We have shifted.
to the middle of the bar.
I do like this.
Yeah, we brought in some expert consult.
I've
who
heard.
said, sit at the middle
I
of the
heard
bar.
he was a little bit pushy as well.
He is.
I was out at my
waving
camper.
around, right? Were you even dressed for part of today?
Not really.
Yeah.
No.
Try before we die, everybody. It's a regular episode. Mal and I are going to do what?
We are going to drink scotch.
We are going to randomly choose a bottle from this collection and give you our honest, unscripted opinion.
Very honest opinion.
And to go over something we've gone over many times, I think just two regular guys trying whiskey
Yeah, I have no background.
having all these marzipan
No.
flavors or Christmas cake or
Right.
any of those to just draw from. We're going to tell you what we taste. Shoe leather, shoe polish,
Yeah.
strawberries, pineapples.
Just
What
an honest
color is
opinion.
it? Yeah, we're just going to tell you because you guys may go out there and try one too. Or maybe you've been like, did I really taste pineapple and that a knock?
Exactly.
You did. At least
Or
we
you
did.
didn't.
Or you didn't. Ready?
Exactly.
Here we go. Bottle today is bottle number. Now, I heard if you let it go for at least 10 seconds, you get a good chance at random numbers.
I do double that. But
You do double
what
that?
you need to do.
I'm gonna do what I need to do. You ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
Ready?
But you pick a number we don't
Ready?
know. Yeah.
Ready?
Go. No. 187.
That means something in some other cultures.
Does it?
Yeah. Like if you're in like a urban setting and grew up in a situation where you really had to scrap to get by.
Really?
You don't know this?
No. I'm not down with all this lingo. 187 means
187 means something bad. It means like prison terms.
something. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
See, I learn something new every day.
Yeah. It's curtains for some people.
Ooh, that's not good.
Here, it's just a bottle of whiskey.
And that means you have to move.
It's on the back side. I'm going to head over and
Why don't you
grab
do
a
that?
bottle. Got any guess?
I don't even know. I haven't paid attention to what you put back there then.
Yeah, because we're at 148.
Oh, there is a scarper back there, right?
No, scarf is here. We missed it. I'm gonna go find
Go
it.
do it.
I'm gonna go find it.
All right.
Hey, we're on the back side for bottle 187. We're at 148 when we leave the front side. 58, 68, 78, 88 minus 1. A Royal Brackla. A whiskey I am unfamiliar with. A Highland Single Malt. The King's Own whiskey. Looks like it's bottled at 40%. We have a 12-year-old release here from Royal Brackla. I'll be curious what we can learn about it in the book and what Malcolm thinks. We'll see everybody shortly when we open and try this Highland Single Malt Scotch whiskey. Mal, did you hear?
Yes.
What was it?
A Brackla.
A Royal Brackla.
Royal Brackla. And no, I have no idea what that is.
12-year-old from the Cawdor Estate. Highland Single Malt Scotch whiskey.
Look at the size of the freaking cap.
I mean,
Oh, no wonder they got a big cap on.
it's got to counter the hole in the bottom.
It does.
All kinds of things you could say about that. But you know what I'm going to say?
Open it.
Going to open it, get it to breathing, and we'll talk about it. Did you see if there's anything in a book about this? I'm unfamiliar. Everybody, as always, we just open these bottles, regardless of which one it brings us to, whether you can get it or not.
A majestic malt. The distillery lies between the River Findhorn and the Moray Firth at Cawdor, not far from Name. It was... Ooh, lively.
I was thinking subdued. Ready? Ready?
Reminds you of another.
It does.
So, founded in 1812.
Wait.
You and your sound effects.
All right, go ahead.
Founded in 1812, permitted to style itself Royal Brackla in 1835 because King William IV enjoyed the whiskey. Royal Brackla was rebuilt in 1898 and again in 1966. It was extended in 1970. It closed in 1985 and was reopened in 91. Wow. A Flora and Fauna bottling was released in 93-94.
That's an independent bottling, the Flora and Fauna.
Okay.
I'll just read this. His Majesty, having been pleased to distinguish this by his royal command to supply his establishment, that must be William, has placed this whiskey first on the list of British spirits, and when known, should in truth be termed the divine drink.
Wow. Those are some freaking big hitting words. The divine drink.
That's right.
Not the wee dram.
Not the wee dram. The divine. That's like, there's a lot to back up with this. And I think we checked over there, but with the better lighting, we are at 40%. In truth be termed the divine drink, as distinguished by King William IV. So the book was right, established 1812. Sounds like it's been in and out of commission a number of times over the last 200 years. This is all we know about it.
And you said it was a Highland.
It's a Highland. Now, you say it was near the Moray Firth, which I believe is close to Glen Moray as well.
Oh, that's cool.
And Glen Moray, I believe, identifies themselves as a Speyside.
I believe you're correct.
We'll double check.
Handy to have bottles all the way
A
around.
Speyside.
Yeah, all right.
So again, that it lends itself to that idea that all Speysides are Highlands,
Unless they call themselves.
but not all Highlands are Speysides.
Speysides.
Right, and so if you're producing within the Speyside region, you get to choose.
That's actually interesting.
Yes.
And that actually probably says why Highlands and Speysides, I enjoy them. Because they are fairly similar.
Well, back in the day, you'd often see a lot of the labeling say Highland-Speyside. It would sort of identify both regions.
All right.
And now and then you can still see that.
All right.
And you can still see some wrestling matches online, you know. Well, that's a Highland. Well, that's a Speyside. Well, it's going to find a bottle. How are they identified?
See, I never knew that. I always thought Speyside was his own.
Right. I originally thought that too until some research showed that all Speysides are Highlands, but not all Highlands are Speysides.
I always thought it was his own region.
Yeah. And it really
Not
is
a
its own
sub-region.
region.
Well, yes.
You just have to declare what region you're identifying.
Interesting.
Yeah. And there probably are some nuances related to production methods and whatnot. But maybe, I just don't know. Right? Because we're just two regular guys.
Correct.
Right. Anything else been going on that you want to talk about?
No, actually, today started up very well. Manchester City lost to Liverpool. As you can see the scarf behind me.
Oh, Liverpool.
Yeah.
Right. I was going to take that down.
I know you were. I'm actually quite surprised you didn't.
Yeah.
So, no, let's get into this. Let's do some colour.
Let's try this. Okay, so here you go, buddy.
Mine was always the short pour.
I can't answer those questions.
I tell you what, all these new lights, it's going to make it a little bit more tricky to give you a real read.
I'm going right off the bat to a honey.
Yeah, actually, I'm going to agree with you.
And you spend a little time looking at this bottle in the depth of its color. Again, I feel very confident a midsummer honey, not a spring honey, not a fall honey. I feel like we're in a midsummer's honey.
Yeah, I'd agree with you.
You know, we're not pale, we're not a straw. You know, if we were talking about a gold, we're in a medium gold.
Yeah.
I don't feel like we're really kissing too much on an amber. If this was an amber, this would be a light amber.
No, I like the honey. The honey's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good call.
And nothing you want to contradict me on?
No, I don't.
I need to get a calendar. I need to mark it down.
No, I'm not going to. I'm not going to lie to
contradict
you.
me?
With the new lighting that our export brought in, it was very tough. I had a lot of reds and a lot of yellows playing off this, and there was only a couple of spots that I could see.
It's kind of late.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's all right.
All right. So we've identified some good color.
Yep.
You ready to nose this?
Yes.
You sure?
Yep.
Okay. What do you think? A Highland, 40%. It's got a honey color. Anything you're going to predict?
Something floral.
All right. You think like
Heather.
grass,
Heather.
hay, heather? All right. All right. I'm wondering about something nutty or woody.
Okay.
All right.
Yep.
Let's give it a go. So I don't want to say I really pick up on some nuttiness because I just predicted nuttiness, but I do feel like I pick up on some nuttiness.
See, I'm going to completely contradict you because I did say floral, and I think I am picking up floral.
You know what that's called in psychology? A self-fulfilling prophecy. If you predict it, you will find it.
But I'm gonna give you your due.
I initially did find that floral, but then the nuttiness really did seem to take over.
It starts to sink into you.
Yeah.
I will give it to you.
Yeah.
It does feel like it does have some nuttiness to it. Yeah. All right.
Well, that breathes for a second. Did you happen to look at all about any of the true flavor?
All the ones in there were ones that weren't going to recognize what this was.
Okay, because it was all independent bottlings?
No, different ages.
Different ages. RS.
No. It's under Brackla.
Oh, it's
B.
it's not under Royal.
Yeah, I did made a mistake with another book.
Okay. I won't spend too much time, but if I can get there, it must be close. There it is. Oh, right. It's under Brackla, but then they have the Royal Brackla.
Correct.
So they have the 10-year-old. Smoky, sulfurous, burnt, molasses, medium. Starts malty and sweet. Malty. That's an interesting
Maybe that's
word.
the nuttiness.
That might be the nuttiness. And moves towards spicy. I didn't pick up anything smoky.
No.
All right. Shall we just try it?
Go for it.
All right.
Cheers.
Cheers, mate. The Royal Brackla. 40% ABV, a Highland Single Malt Scotch whiskey. Clearly a favorite of King William IV. The Divine Drink.
Divine drink.
All right. Here we go.
All right.
Is there something slightly smoky in there?
There's an underlying tone.
There's something there, right?
I catch it as I finish my sip, and my tongue would go back up to my palate. I catch that.
It's got a pretty eventful beginning and middle, and perhaps a very subdued ending.
Yes. And I think I pick up that maltiness on that middle stretch.
Right. If there was an explosion in this glass, that explosion really resides in the front.
Yeah. It's like almost like a spike.
Right, and then that malty, maybe that nuttiness sort of
eases it
lands
out.
in the middle, and then it sort of just drops off. It's not a long finish whatsoever.
No.
Right.
No. And it's very mellow.
There's nothing traditionally sweet about this.
No.
Nothing candied.
No.
Right, I'm not picking up on any raisins or plums or I don't even feel like I'm finding molasses.
No, I mean I don't catch anything that would tell me this has got any sort of sweetness to it, which is odd, except for that initial spike. Yeah.
Right. Again, it opens up, boom, not bam. It opens up with a boom. It transitions quickly into a ah, and then it sort of ends with a hmm.
Yeah, no, it's actually a very well balanced drink. You sort of don't have to fight it.
You're not fighting this. This isn't something that you're going to be put off to have multiple glasses.
No.
And if you're the king, and you can drink all day if you want,
then you could definitely
drink this all day because you're the king.
Yeah.
And it's not going to tax your palate.
Nope.
It's not going to.
It's weird to say.
impact
I'm
your
going to say
body.
it's a little bit refreshing, in the sense that I'm just like, oh, I'm actually just enjoying this drink because I'm not trying to find anything really in it.
And as I went for the second poll, and I may need to actually top myself off again. You always complain about having less, but I seem to go through mine quicker.
When you get more to stop,
That smokiness really is like this. What did you say? Just a note or a whisk?
just the underlying.
Just a tone.
Yes.
Right. It's not present in any sort of substantial way.
No, I would not call this a smoky drink.
Yeah. No.
However, like you said, there's like a hint.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah. Consider this is my first of the day.
Really?
Yeah.
Weren't you drinking mine earlier?
No, that was our new director.
Oh, that was another guy drinking mine. He just left it next to you for evidence.
Yeah, exactly.
The drink divine. That's the phrase. The drink divine. From the Cawdor estate, the Royal Brackla, King William IV's favorite.
And definitely malty.
Right, if you've ever made beer before or whatnot, you can become real familiar with what malt.
Yeah, This is definitely malty. That middle stretch that rolls probably like the just the beginning of your tongue to the back of your tongue before it disappears down. Very malty.
Right. You know, boom, thin. The middle tends to pick up a little of that viscosity. That would be that maltiness. Then it goes right back to thin, and it sort of just fades off.
Yep. And there's very, very little heat.
Very easy just to keep drinking this. I see my glass is coated with legs as it rests back into the bottom. But I'm not picking up anything oily.
No.
Yeah. Well, I think, you know, if I was the king, I would drink this all day.
That's the king. You could drink that all day.
So if you were the king, would you have a 70% dark chocolate or an orange dark chocolate with this? By the way, Malcolm will never be the king.
I would do the 70%.
I'm so proud of you because I know you just want to eat the orange chocolate.
I do like the orange chocolate. But I really think that 70% will bring out that maltiness.
And the orange chocolate will do what to this drink?
It will overpower it.
It will, all day it will overpower this drink because this drink is not bringing to the table substantial flavors that will balance with that potent orange chocolate. So I agree with you.
It won't bring out those things. No.
So help yourself. This is the 70%. That's the orange.
Have to dry.
This is a dry, semi-bitter dark chocolate. Oh my gosh.
Don't do it.
I got a fire. Turns out that in your mouth, there's one hole on the way in, but there's two holes to choose for going backwards. Always pick the right one.
Now, I'm not sure how to describe this, but it almost freaking brought all that smokiness out. And not in the sense that it's smokiness.
Spiciness.
Spiciness.
Yes. Yeah. And though I did swallow incorrectly, I was experiencing a spicy explosion.
Yeah, I was not ready for this.
So I'm going to do it again and
do
try to do it right.
Yeah, I was not ready for that. That was completely different. That is a night and day drink.
It was very different. I'm going to try this
Absolute
bitter
night and day
chocolate
drink.
and see if I can control the spiciness.
And I would say if I was doing it with chocolate, I would not be drinking it all day long.
It is so different.
Night and day.
It is so different.
And it's like an explosion from the very beginning.
That bitter 70% chocolate not overpowers it, but really levels it up. It turns the volume up on perhaps every stage, so that boom becomes a bam. That center aha becomes a oh yeah.
Yeah.
And that ending becomes more of a
much more
hey.
aggressive.
Right. It's interesting what these pairings can do.
Very much so. And this is, well, just to throw this light onto this, that's what makes this interesting in the sense that had we had been going the route that we were going beforehand, right? I don't know if I personally would have been involved with so much more on the backside, the extra water. Say I did ice cubes, but I never would have thought cheese, fruits, or chocolates to change a drink so drastically or enhance a drink so
instantly. Right.
Because I never would have thought about doing it.
Right.
So it's like a great learning. Yeah. It's a great experience to say, okay, I've got to push myself a little bit. I've got to take something I don't usually do and do it just to see.
Well, think of it like food, whereas if you add salt or a pepper or a spice, how suddenly, oh my gosh, that just became so much better.
But you would never think, as a layman,
right?
You would never think to add something to a drink to bring out
whiskey.
To whiskey, especially.
Right.
Never would have thought. I would have said, hey, let's go buy a bottle, let's just cock it.
Right, because, as a young man, you're drinking whiskey for the intoxicating effects. Yeah. But as a grown man,
I'm drinking it to taste it. I'm drinking
at least you want to have a card you can play that it's not just for the intoxicating event.
Very much. Yeah. But to think about actually adding something to the entire experience that will actually elevate it,
Yep.
change it,
Enhance it.
enhance it.
Yeah.
Maybe not be what you expected to happen. Never would have thought about that.
Yeah. No, there's a stunning difference with the chocolate and by itself.
Correct.
Stunning difference.
And like I said, I would not be able to drink that all day long with chocolate in my mouth.
I would say this, and we don't have any on the bar today. This whiskey, in my opinion, has a creamy cheese written all over it. Because that creamy cheese...
Australian one?
Is, I don't know about the Australian cheddar, but you'll recall we did a Vermont cheddar at room temperature that was very creamy. Is going to allow for this whiskey to sort of not enhance all that spiciness, but rather perhaps sort of embrace it, wrap around it, and continue to keep it subdued.
Now, just hypothetically speaking, I feel, based on that I think that cheese would actually sort of mellow this out even more.
Mm-hmm. I think that's what I'm trying to say, right? Is that this chocolate sort of turned the volume up in all these areas, and it's not a complaint. But I think a nice room temperature cream cheddar would really sort of just enhance what it already had going.
But the Royal Brackla, that's got some game.
It's almost like you got to be afraid to like badmouth the king, because there may be some secret like organization that keeps an eye on things and has written into their bylaws for centuries that says anybody who talks ill about King William IV and his whiskey choices doesn't see the light of day.
No, definitely a good.
I myself will see the light of the day. The king got it right.
He did get it right. This is a great drink.
So, because as always, as often, we're not always prepared in a situation. So let's just see.
Go
let's just see my and a bearded man and a British guy.
Yeah.
Let's just see. So to a, it's out of place and doesn't necessarily feel appropriate to say right now. But in King William IV's time, our toast might be
bottoms up.
So it might seem out of place now, and it might not feel okay. But in King William IV's time, a proper toast might be, long
live the
king. Can I tell you one more thing? When we toast, we should do this. The bells.
Oh, look at you, just a wealth of experience. Cheers.
The Royal Brackla. So different without the chocolate.
I like it better without the chocolate.
I do too. It's not a criticism of the chocolate.
No.
It's not a criticism of the whiskey. It's an acknowledgement of the pairing.
Either or. If your palate wanted to go that route, you could definitely do it and enjoy it. If you wanted to stay, no worries.
I think a creamy cheddar. I think neat by itself. I think I'm been waiting years to try this bottle.